Namaste, angels. The other angels, the etheric angels, have guided me today to do 2 separate readings, one for each archetype, masculine and feminine, of karmic issues that may plague them throughout the rest of this month, and therefore year. So this is for December, throughout karmic issues with which we may deal. I'm going to do the masculine first, so this will be for the masculine. Beginning with the 5 of fire, which does show conflict. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. He may be involved in a situation of just that. Dealing with people that are envious of him. Dealing with conflict, for me, more so with close friends and or family than necessarily with others, being the 5 of fire as opposed to, for instance, the 5 of air for me, which can be like conflict with anybody. Somebody could step on your foot in the street and you get into a scuffle or not by, your choice, your reaction. With this, for me, it tends to be people to whom you're closer, your siblings, your ex, your child's other parent, your parents, your child even. Close friends that you consider like family, like blood, like red, okay? And opening to the 8 of air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, being afraid to take action. So in some cases, it's not only are we having conflict, but we feel that we are stuck in it, like we can't leave. So if it is a bad relationship, whether it's a bad romantic relationship or a bad relationship with a family member or a friend, or a cord that needs to be cut to an ex, we're not even with them anymore, but they still, are controlling us in one way or another, or making us feel as if they're controlling us. We can't see through the conflict that we have with them to the fact that we're in control of our own destiny and our own freedom. That can be what this is describing. Eight of air. Open to the Queen of Air, who is the queen of cutting these type of people and situations off. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making. Clearing away all that no longer serves you. I think this is why she's here. She can also be here because of Venus, for one thing, being the goddess of love. She can also be here because of Mercury and the Mercury retrograde being a time to face these issues. Also, because today is the first day, although today there is a Cancer moon, today is the first day after the Gemini full supermoon. So that can be another reason why the Queen of Air is showing up here. In relation to dealing with karmic issues, I'm sure that first and foremost, whether she's representing Venus, Mercury, or Gemini in general, she's here about cutting off things that don't serve us, especially when opposite the 8 of air. This is the Queen of Air showing up to say, get out. You see the movie Get Out? You're in a situation, you feel stuck, you feel trapped, you feel imprisoned, but you're in control of your own freedom. Right? You can run out of that house. Eight of air. And the 8 of water, which is about what? A desire to move on from where you are and what you're doing. So opposite being stuck. Yeah, I feel stuck. I want out. I want to get out. I got to figure out how, because in my eyes, in my mind, I'm trapped. I'm in prison. They have shackles on me. I can't leave. So this is masculine. This is about you coming into an awareness that you're in control of your own destiny. I'm going to lay 2 spreads with tarot cards. The first being the Angel Tarot, and that's just going to illustrate situations for us. And then I'm going to take the Animal Tarot and lay them atop, asking what we can do for ourselves, what energy is sort of surrounding us that is quote unquote, karmic, as in, of the universe and part of our destiny, and what other people are doing. We're not in control of other people. We're only in control of ourselves. And lastly, what the universe, what God wants us to know, that could help us along the way too. So 8 of air, opposite 8 of water, is again a desire to get out. Desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful. So whatever it is in your life, again, whether it's a relationship or an experience, you don't like your home anymore, you don't like your job anymore, you're feeling trapped, you're feeling stuck, you can't move on, you're not making enough money, you're not receiving enough love, you're not able to give enough love to who you'd like to. All those things would be the search for something more meaningful. You feel as if you're ascending and the people around you are sort of stuck, therefore you feel stuck. You know, they're stuck in their vibration, which is, you know, lower than that of your own. You know, you need to surround yourself with people, places, and things of a vibration similar to your own or higher, but you feel trapped with these other, you know, this other environment. All of those things, there's a desire to move on and get out. 8 of air. I'll do one more. I keep saying that. For some, it's a commitment. It's a romantic commitment, or again, it's your home, it's your job. You desire peace, right? The 4 of fire represents peace. We have our 1111 here. So it can very well be a relationship for many, even marriage, like you want to divorce. Contentment, peace, and abundance. A happy home life. That's what you want. And the successful completion of a project. So you want peace of mind, but again, you feel stuck. Trapped where and with whom you can't seem to find that peace. The grass is definitely not greener always on the other side, not always greener on the other side. However, sometimes it is. And, you know, I think you've realized that. Boom, the tower. Okay, it's going to take something of the universe, it seems, because you haven't gotten out on your own. You still feel trapped, in order to shake you up and maybe even destroy the whole foundation of what you have going on. Some of you might be getting busted. You know, if it is a romantic relationship, for example, you might be getting caught, quote unquote, cheating with your true wife, you know, be that a male or female or whatever the case, however you identify, you may get caught cheating. You may get fired from the job you should have left on your own. You may get, you know, kicked out of your home, evicted. Your parents don't want you living with them anymore, or your children don't want you living with them anymore, or whatever the case is. Your roommate doesn't like you, you don't like them. It's time to renew the lease. The landlord doesn't like either one of you, whatever. Because this can also often have to do with a physical building, the tower. It can represent like an actual tower, as in structure. And on the heels of the 4 of Wands, which can also represent a structure, a home, this can be somebody's home, somebody's foundations completely falling to the ground. A significant life event. A powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. The overall energy is the 7 of air. This is people and energies in general trying to steal your joy. Maybe even your own energy trying to steal your joy. You know, perhaps unconsciously, subconsciously, you don't even realize it. But you're trapping yourself. You lack confidence. You are full of fear. And so you can't move forward. Your fear, your own mind, is what is imprisoning you. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye. Poor timing. Again, this whole spread is for the masculine. I have laid a traditional spread of mine, right? My traditionally trademarked spread with the masculine here and the feminine here. However, this can be the divine masculine's inner masculine and feminine. This can be the divine masculine and perhaps a situation with a feminine with which he is dealing in his life. But it's all about him, this entire spread. The Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes, and often has something to do with a decision that you have to make. And you gotta, it says take your time, but you kind of got to make it quickly with the Knight of Air. There isn't much time. So maybe leading into that, you should be like reviewing your options. You should be thinking and then trying to come up with something. Air signs, I don't want to say we rush to judgment, because that's actually the opposite of what we're known. We are about fair judgment, diplomacy, and all those things. So I don't want to be misunderstood here, but we sort of believe in taking action. This is about, and this is a card of action, right? The Knight of Air. So I got to make a decision and I got to act on it. I got to implement it, whatever the decision is. And it should be based in logic for the most part, this decision. So maybe that's what they mean about taking time to review your options, right? You're going to apply logic to the situation, what makes more sense for you. But you got to do something, no more like sitting around. Surrounded by the King of Water. So many of you have to do something in relation to love and emotion, right? Love and emotion are involved, not just logic, not just your mind. The King of Water is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice, also charity work. For me, charity work is love. I think the key here, though, for you is, especially if you have a decision to make as to your movements and what you're going to be doing with yourself, is to open your heart and mind, right? This King of Water is sort of encompassing all. He's taking love and emotion into consideration, and he's taking logic into consideration. Open your heart and mind to those around you, and then be open and receptive to trustworthy and heartfelt advice, and then also give that, right? Don't bullshit yourself or other people, and don't take any. And then charity work, again, for me, is love. It's exchanges of love, not necessarily of the romantic nature. Masculine subconscious here, the Five of Water. Okay, you know that you don't have all that you want, right? You're contemplating that. You know that you may have tried to get both, right? Have your cake and eat it too. And that just didn't seem to work out. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in the situation. So you're not seeing the good that you do have. You're not counting your blessings. You're worried about this. Like, I wanted all. I wanted my cake and I wanted to eat it, but it fell on the floor. So now what? Oh, woe is me. Forgetting that you have this. Crying over spilled milk or cake. Your feminine side. The Ace of Fire. You have a chance, perhaps with a feminine, right, for a brand new opportunity about which you are extremely passionate. So this can be a new job. This can be a new home. This can be a new relationship, perhaps with an actual fire sign or somebody of those traits or attributes. But it's something about which you are extremely passionate. This is your true desire. This is for what your heart yearns and burns. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. The Ace of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. Surrounded by the Six of Earth. Beautiful. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Represents for me the planet and goddess Venus, and both of her elements, air and earth, Libra and Taurus. Gifts of money, time, or effort. And it's opposite the King of Water and his charity work. Right? So this is about exchange, exchanging love. Charity work is love. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities. Receiving a loan or paying off debts. As it relates to love, which again doesn't have to be romantic, this is about the ability to both give and receive it. wholly, fully, and in truth, and regret-free, just completely free of negative or toxic cords or energy. Regret-free, resentment-free, pure, unadulterated, unconditional love with this card. Feminine part of your subconscious, the release or death in the traditional tarot. Major Arcana card, death. It's the end of a phase or a situation. Spiritual transformation is happening right now. It is time to move on. Before we enter the next year, there's going to be stuff that you have to let go, masculine. And I'm not, just like talking at you guys, because I'm going to do a feminine spread too. There's stuff that we have to let go. This is about you though. Crowning. The King of Air, who is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Also a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. Somebody taking a sword to what doesn't serve them in a fair way. That fairness includes themselves. Because what we do a lot of the time is we are not equitable towards ourselves. We have the inability to receive in a healthy way. King of Air can do all of that stuff. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice if you need to. Right? Maybe for some of these relationships that you don't know how to get out of, you guys need a counselor to help you to ease out. Maybe before you leave a relationship, whether it's with a family member or a close friend or a romantic interest, maybe you want to go to some sort of spiritual advisor together. If you belong to, I don't go to church and believe, but some people still do that sort of thing. Maybe you want to go talk to, I would recommend a different type of spiritual advisor, one that's not attached to, a secular situation, but, whatever your choice is, and you want to get some sort of insight and see if, there's something you haven't tried yet to heal the situation before letting it go. Even if it's about a job, you want to go to some sort of spiritual counselor about that, or financial counselor about that, before you buy a home, whatever this new opportunity is, again, about which you're passionate. Balance mental and emotional consideration. So similar to this Knight of Air and the King of Water, we're dealing with logic and emotion, mind and heart in our decisions as to what we do from here. At the root, 3 of Earth. This can represent a party of 3, right? A third energy involved somehow in your situation. As it relates to friendship, we got to remember that our overall energy is the 7 of Air, right? And these plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye, this joy stealing. So as it relates to friendship, this can involve a third energy, somebody that's not really your friend. As it relates to work, this can be somebody who's trying to keep you down at work, to steal your promotion, steal your raise, steal, your new opportunity, whatever form that's taking. This can be a love triangle involving a third person. Whatever the situation is, it needs to transform and never be the same again. A part of it, something about it needs to die. Death, by the way, represents the sign of Scorpio, or other water sign. I don't think I mentioned that. When I picked up the 7 of Air, also upright in the same direction, the 6 of Water. So for some of us, this situation definitely involves our children and or, our soulmate relationships, past life relationships, love, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. Also upright behind that, the 3 of Fire. So again, party of 3 potentially. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. But remember, this is what somebody's potentially, or some energy is potentially trying to steal from you. This is what some energy is trying to steal from you. The happiness that would normally be associated with, you know, this kind of abundance. Also upright behind that, last one, the Chariot. So this, again, desire to move on and away from the negativity. And the fact that this reminder that you are in the driver's seat. You are in control of your own destiny. An important achievement, self-discipline, willpower, public recognition for like living your life unapologetically. We worry about what other people think, what society thinks, societal norms and all this sort of thing. But at the same time, if we look around at people who have unapologetically, I don't know why I'm stumbling on that word today, maybe because Mercury retrograde has started, live their lives without fear of persecution or repercussion. We see that they're admired. They're respected. We love these people. I was talking about Erykah Badu with some others earlier. And how, as not only a woman, but a Black woman, she demands, just by her existence, continued respect, adoration. Men continue to desire her. Women continue to emulate her. Despite the fact that she has, you know, more than one child with more than one man. I think each child has their own father. And many of us would be looked down upon for something like that. Not her. She remains a goddess. Because she's unapologetic about how she lives her life. Without regret, without resentment. She still loves the men that she had been with before, just in a different way, right? The love transformed to co-parent in a healthy way. She moved on. She's victory. She's in the driver's seat of her own life. Colin Kaepernick, he was honored this weekend, again, right? He's Citizen of the Year. He got another really awesome award recently. I can't think of what it is. And it is because he is unapologetic in his thinking and his actions and about what he's passionate. I don't care if you guys disagree with me kneeling. I don't care if the entire country disagrees with me kneeling. I'm going to kneel again. I'm going to kneel again. I'm going to kneel again until maybe some people get it. And if they don't, I still don't care. I'm going to risk my job. I'm going to risk my livelihood. I'm going to risk my fame. I'm going to risk, you know, respect and put myself at judgment. I'm going to risk persecution. I'm in the driver's seat of my life and my destiny. I don't care what you think. That's how we not allow people to take from us, an energy to take from us. At the heart of the matter, boom, let go of your ego, masculine, and all will be right in the world, at least in your world. The ego, or the devil, with Archangel Jophiel here, who is the Archangel of beauty. So this is basically when beauty turns into one like the deadly sins. There's 7 deadly sins, and vanity is one. So when beauty turns into something negative, I guess. A false sense of entrapment. So you got that again, this feeling of being stuck, and you're surrounded by swords with which to cut yourself free. Being overly focused on material things, right? In many ways, and often, and we see it here, with potentially money the masculine has earned that hasn't been given to him yet. He's got to remain in faith that he will get it. and be open to, but again, both giving and receiving, and that makes way for the flow. But a lot of them, again, in dealing and thinking of these societal norms, feel that they can't be with, you know, a feminine, and perhaps specifically a woman that maybe has more stuff than them or more money than them. Like, they don't know how to, what's my role in that case? Like, how do I lead? And you know what? As a matter of fact, I had this conversation with some people this weekend too. And it was in writing. It was on Facebook. I'm gonna look that up for you guys. But I think this is very interesting here, how we have death crossing the devil, as well as the Knight of Air. This can really be seen as like both brothers too, like God and the devil, Osiris and Set, like facing off. Osiris has him cornered. Now, this is Osiris too. Remember, Osiris is a Scorpio. He's ruled by Mars. He's the Ace of Fire. He's the King of Water. He's the Death card. And here's his woman here. Or his aide, his helper, I thought, works for Osiris. He's the Knight of Air. The King of Air is also Thought, Mercury, and Team Osiris. So we have that. We have the devil cornered, literally, in this spread. Like, but I found this other thing I wanted to tell you guys about. So it started out, I was part of a discussion about a public post. It's called 5 Actions a Woman Needs to See to Trust You to Lead Her. And one of the comments from a male, heterosexual male, was, in today's society, leading is not as easy as it may seem. The economy is too different than when leading was back in the day. The way I see it, talks of the man taking the lead in this regard is almost saying that he does 90% of everything, when in actuality, it's tougher for him to do today. We're much more evolved to where both sides can discuss and agree on what's best for the entire unit. I would agree with that. And the next person said, I agree with this. The thought that leading out means giving the most to a family monetarily is nice, but is this realistic in the economy? The male said, it's still doable, but the chances are much smaller. So then I replied, leading is not about money for me. This line of thinking, while I don't disagree is a thing, creates yet another issue in my experience. It causes men that have money to equate leading to being controlling, using the money to do so. And it causes those without any to believe that they therefore can't lead at all. I run into the latter most. Younger men with not much money who then don't know what it means to lead, or which don't know what it means to lead or how, which automatically puts me in the position of having to be their mother/woman. No thanks. So another female replied, the one who agreed earlier, how about we scrap the whole gender role bullshit leadership and quote unquote head nonsense and just love each other? Of course, I agreed with that. And I replied to her that I think that's also become a thing, and that it works for some. But that I personally, so some of you out there, or some of the women with whom you deal, may be too old for it. You know, like my mind doesn't quite work that way. Not that I can't continue to evolve too, absolutely. but just based on the, what I experienced in my life thus far, being from a different generation, I don't know at this time. And I said, I can deal with superficial blurred lines. I don't mind doing things that may be considered male or masculine. I don't mind you doing things. I'm not going to make a big deal of, my man is homosexual. I mean, I think that homosexual because he did a certain thing or wore a certain outfit or whatever. I think all that stuff is silly. So superficial blurred lines, I can absolutely deal with those. I said, but if I don't feel that you can offer me in a heterosexual relationship those things that I can't provide myself, I won't be able to take the relationship seriously. And I won't be able to take the man himself seriously as a person or as a man when he suggests that I, bend over or something for other activities. I won't look at him right. And I said, I don't want to feel like a lesbian with my man any more than I want to feel like his mother or his daughter. Right. So I need whatever my mind perceives as being a man. And that has nothing to do with money, was really my point in going over this. And that's the case for some of us. Because the next female said, LOL, true. I chalk that up to preferences, though, and not blanketed gender roles. Leadership that always has to be the standard. Right, so she doesn't attach it to male or female or masculine or feminine. And so the male came back, who had made the original comment. He said, then I raised this question. What is leading? And I commented that the last man with whom I dealt in a relationship was short, maybe my height, maybe shorter, younger. And he looked even younger still because of his height and stature and size. And by no means was he a rich man. But I could still take him seriously because of how he carried himself. He's the only man I've ever referred to as king or my king in my life. And when he called me his queen, or the one time he called and said, physically called on the phone and said, your king summons you. I went running so fast, I can't even tell you. Like if he says jump, I ask how high. When you ask like that, you damn straight. And it has nothing to do with money. So the male on the thread, I guess that was a Freudian slip. I said masculine because yes, I was talking about my divine masculine there. And the male says, so leadership is how you carry yourself, you'd say to me. And the other female said, I think leadership is gender neutral. A woman can be a leader just as much as a man. I think a hallmark of true leadership abilities is leading by positive example and influence rather than dictating. I don't think leadership needs to apply at all in romantic relationships between two grown people. And I said, I totally agree with the first part, the part about leadership being gender neutral. A woman can absolutely be a leader. I'm one, and I was meant for one, to be one, according to my natal chart. I'm a life path number 1. We are natural born leaders, literally. Despite this, I still wish for my man to take what I feel is his natural place in our relationship. I'm attracted to well-balanced testosterone. The other female says, that's good and dandy. If we're heterosexual, there'd be no attraction if the man didn't have a healthy supply of testosterone. But we don't need to attach testosterone to leadership, especially since both can be leaders in aspects outside of the relationship. That being said, I don't go to my man to be led. I go to him for companionship, mutual support, and good love. I replied to the gentleman who had asked me if I felt leadership had to do with the way a man carries himself. I said, yes, I do. And this is when Bob Marley came up again, too. I was on my weekly general. I talked about Bob Marley, and some people commented that they had had Bob Marley related conversations and experiences around the same time, too. So there's something going on there also. Not just for me personally, but I think on a wider scale. But he came up here too. As I mentioned that when I was married on this plane in the 3D, the legal sense, I didn't go down the aisle to Here Comes the Bride. I went down to Is This Love by Bob Marley. And I said, the lyrics describe a penniless leader of a man. I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you every day and every night. We'll be together with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. So I said, he's got no money, but he's got definitive plans that include me. With which he himself came up. I'm following him to the single bed. I trust that he's got me. So the conversation continued to go on, but I think that that's enough. I've given you the perspective of two females, two feminine archetypes as it relates to what we are seeking, what we need from our men, from our masculine in a relationship that has nothing to do with ego, money, or the material. Nothing at all. All right, so I'm going to get back to this and to sort of clarify these cards again with what we can do for ourselves, what is surrounding us, and what God wants us to know, and specifically in the middle, atop this ego card, what Archangel Michael wants us to know. I'm beginning with the Queen of Winter, so another Queen of Air. She is experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. And opening to the Tower yet again. Wow, this is the same way I started the other spread, if you remember. This life experience again is the Tower. Important changes are coming to your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions you know are right for you. Don't hesitate to cut off who and what needs to be cut off, and even where. Again, if it relates to moving to a new home or a new job or something. Queen of Winter. And opening to the Queen of Autumn. So more Venus. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious is the Queen of Autumn. She is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I didn't mention the Queen of Winter is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person, not the spilled milk. Queen of Winter and the King of Winter. All this time is very important. At this time, I'm sorry, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. Now, being unemotional does not negate the fact that you can be the king of water also. You can be the king of water and the king of air simultaneously. Remember, the king of water also uses his mind, and he is emotional without wearing his emotions on his sleeve. He's not a sap. He's got himself together. We also have a couple here. King of Winter and Queen of Winter showing up together. So for some, it is about some sort of partnership and perhaps romantic. Queen of Winter and the Queen of Spring. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. You can go after that about what you're passionate. Queen of Winter. I'm going to cut. And it's the Two of Winter. So a decision has to be made. Like I started out saying here with the Knight of Air. Or you're waiting on a decision, or both. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. That's what this means here. This pride, this ego, this fear, this procrastination is blocking you from making the decision. Because you're worried about what others may think instead of doing what makes you move, about what you're passionate, what you know is logically accurate and right for you, what makes your heart sing. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. I love this because the overall energy is the Emperor. And look, it's a little deer mouse. I just mentioned how my divine masculine isn't very, tall in stature or whatever. He may even see himself as a mouse. I'm not saying that he does. My point here is that even if he does, or those like him do, they're not at all this diminutive figure they may see when they look in the mirror sometimes. They're not looking at what others see reflected back. This grand, much larger force. The Emperor represents the planet Mars for me, so he can actually be this Scorpio, the same Scorpio that's the king of water and death, or a fire sign, or anybody taking on any of those traits or attributes. Represents the planet Mars and the sign of Aries or other fire sign. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role. See, there's always a reason why I go off on a tangent or something. I knew I was supposed to read you that thread about the masculine taking the leadership role or the lead. Right? Don't be afraid to take it, as you have much wisdom to offer. What you can do for yourself, masculine. Like already. What else may be going on around you to take into account or not? You'll decide that. What God wants you to know. What specifically Archangel Michael wants you to know. Atop the Knight of Air. Boom. Okay. You're going to have to make a decision about this conflict. Whether it's an internal conflict or it's a conflict with somebody else or it's somebody who is drama filled, you're going to have to make a decision about going forward with this. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. This means like remaining your integrity and in a position to do what makes you happy, right? And not to compromise that in order to diffuse a situation or to make someone else happy. Atop the King of Air, the Princess of Spring. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. You should feel confident about taking these opportunities, right? Speak your mind with confidence. If this is about what you're passionate, go for it. Seek out professional advice again if you need to, and balance mental and emotional considerations. So the King of Air and the King of Water are really about the same thing, right? They're both about this balance of logic and heartfelt. The Princess of Spring is the Page of Fire, a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. Perhaps the Sagittarius energy that surrounds us all right now. Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius. That could be what this is saying right here. Right? Mercury, 11 degrees retrograde in Sagittarius. That's going on right now. And will continue that way until December 22nd, I think it is. So right in time for us to like make up and come back together and communicate, you know, before Christmas, if Mercury retrograde has forced us apart. Atop the Ace of Fire, again, right? Another Seven of Air. This is our overall energy from the other tarot deck. And here we have it atop our opportunity, our brand new opportunity about which we're passionate. Some kind of energy or person, drama-filled perhaps, wants to take it from us. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables. This is your valuable. Including non-material resources, right? Like love, such as your peace of mind. I talked about this earlier when we came to the Four of Wands. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing. You're surrounded by, here atop the King of Water. There's a lot of stuff going on, positive stuff. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. And it sits here atop this Five of Water where you weren't counting your blessings. So this is guiding you again to count them and to be thankful for, you know, the loving energy around you. This can also be about communication. It's about movement where things were stagnant. So maybe where something was stagnant in the area specifically of love and or emotion, it was stagnant. Now it's moving. Also, atop the Six of Earth is the Nine of Autumn, or Earth. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity, Ace of Fire, and that will be very successful. This can also be a card of singledom as it relates to romantic relationships for me. But that's not a bad thing either, right? Spending some time getting to know yourself, liking yourself, loving yourself so that you can exchange the same with someone else. You can't, the reason you don't have the ability to receive, you're not good at it, is because you haven't, you know, felt the kind of love from yourself and toward yourself that others may be feeling for you. Once you do that, then you'll be open to this, right? Allowing love to pass both ways. What does God want you to know? Here atop the Five of Water, be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or whether you're giving too much emotionally. Either could be the case with the King of Water sitting here atop this, versus building up walls that keep people out. Atop the Three of Earth, where you're due some sort of payment, right? You've earned it. You've earned something, whether it's monetary, it's material, it's love. You've earned it. You may not see it yet, but it is coming, says the Prince of Autumn. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. The Prince of Autumn is trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. He's also a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, sitting here under the Devil. The Devil also represents the sign of Capricorn, or perhaps other earth sign. And the Gemini full moon sat adjacent to the constellation Taurus the Bull. And we saw that abundance coming from the full moon energy, which I feel will last up to 2 weeks. So that this can be this too. But the Prince of Autumn, or Prince of Earth, we know when we're waiting for him to come through, he can be slow. So like the money is coming, some more patience may be required though. The money, the love, the abundance basically is coming. And you see it here crossing the 9 of Autumn to give you further reassurance, which is atop the 6 of Autumn or Earth to give you even more reassurance. And lastly, what does God want us to know? Boom. The Queen of Summer represents the sign of Scorpio. The Release or Death card represents the sign of Scorpio. What is Scorpio really good at when they allow for it? Transformation, right? Ruled by the planet of transformation, Pluto. And the planet of love, the masculine planet of love, Mars. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition. You can trust this intuition completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. And look at this here. Drama. The devil trapping you. And the need, says God, says the universe, for you to put yourself and your emotions and your life, and maybe your love life and your financial life, whatever it is, first before this stuff. Absolutely. What does Archangel Michael specifically want you to know here atop ego of the devil? That you are a leader and you don't have to take any of this crap. Here is, once again, Osiris toppling Set. The King of Spring. Inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up to a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or perhaps a Scorpio, ruled by Mars. With that, let's get to some love. Not surprisingly, I'm beginning with Release Your Ex. The time has come to clear your energy in the Doreen Virtue Love Romance Oracle. Opening 2, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. These can be the angels or actual friends that you trust. Release your ex. And this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Release your ex. Oh, they wanted me to see soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Not this person, of course, but your soulmate is involved in the situation. Your soulmate awaits you to deal with whatever these obstacles are. What I was opening to at the time was playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Maybe you want to be like a Sagittarius. Playfulness. And very soon, if you clearly decide, like the Knight of Air guides you to do, what you want, it will come to you now. Playfulness. I'm going to cut. Boom. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. What are the red flags? We had this exact scenario, I think in the general reading, the general weekly reading. What are the red flags? The 5 of spring. Okay, somebody is not your friend. Somebody wants to bring you drama and continues to bring you drama. But what are the other red flags? The rest of them are all positive. The Princess of Spring. That's the Page of Wands. An opportunity for you. News of an opportunity is what the Page of Wands brings. The Ace of Fire. The actual opportunity itself, presenting itself to you. Brand new, fresh, a new start for you. And it's something that you'll love doing. The 8 of Spring. Communication, movement, where, you know, you had been stagnant. And the King of Spring, reminding you of who you are and that it's time for you to step into that role. Last but not least, the Emperor, right? You are the authority and the designator of your foundations. You set your own foundation. You bring about your own peace and happiness through your actions by taking, again, the leadership role and putting things in place. Those are the red flags. What can we do for ourselves, romance angels? Surrounding us. What does God want us to know? What specifically does Archangel Michael, the Emperor, our Emperor, and look what just happened. I'm putting the cards down. The soulmate fell away again. Yes, this is your soulmate, but that's not going to be our overall energy. Our overall energy is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Wow. Okay. If this isn't straight and to the point, I don't know what else is. And this came up in the weekly reading as well. The weekly love reading, the masculine. This was what you were guided to do. Cut away the unrequited love. All right. Here's your sword. Here's more evidence of the fact that they don't like you as much as you like them. And they just wish to bring you drama. Get rid of it. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. What else can you do for yourself? Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together with this new opportunity that makes you happy, that is fair to you, not just to other people, right? The Princess of Spring, the Page of Wands, brings you news of this opportunity. Take advantage of it. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. The top, the 7 of Winter and the Ace of Fire. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. This is how you can initiate this opportunity that has presented itself. How you can initiate acting upon it. By, again, perhaps being Sagittarius-like, youthful, fun, energetic, lighthearted. Surrounding you, a time... Top, the King of Water and the 8 of Spring. Free yourself, masculine. This is sitting here underneath the unrequited love. They want to like beat you over the head with this. It's time to take back control of your life. As the King of Water, you can make the decision to do that. You've got the mind and the heart, the emotion, the perfect balance to do that. To get moving on it. And this is preparing us for going into a new year. I want us to remember. 2018 will be a 2, right? It's an 11. 2 plus 1 plus 8 equals 11 or 2. 2s are about faith. 2s are about partnership. 2s are about getting even more near to those actual foundations, right? We manifested what we wanted. with our ones. Our thoughts started to become our reality. They're taking even more form when we enter 2. What is atop the 9 of autumn, but exactly what I was talking about before? Boom. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. By learning better to love yourself and be loved by yourself, you will better learn how to love other people and be loved by other people, specifically your soulmate. What does God want you to know? Here atop the 4 of autumn and the 5 of water is children. Your love life is being affected by children. So in some cases, this is your child's other parent, right? Things didn't work out. You wish they had, but they did not. And maybe you've been beating yourself up and you just put up a wall around yourself to not try love again as a result. But God is here to tell you that you should. Also, this doesn't have to be your child's other parent. This can be family members of yours. These can be you and your siblings, right? And it's time to still free yourself from that. This can be you and your children. And there's a need to either transform the relationship you have with them or, sadly end it in some cases, or with your parents, with close friends, maybe since childhood. What else does God want us to know? Here atop the Queen of Summer and release or death is basically what I just said. It's safe for you to love, even if the first time failed or the last time failed. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Atop the Prince of Autumn and the 3 of Earth, right? This thing you've earned, this abundance you've earned, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, right? Enjoy it. You've earned it. You deserve this love. It is safe for you to love. You deserve this new opportunity, this money, this new job, this new home, right? You've earned it. At the heart of the matter, atop the King of Spring and the Devil or ego. Okay, you may have taken some time. We're sitting here atop the Prince of Autumn, who is slow, who is methodical, but we've gotten here now, and it's worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Further advice to you, masculine. The 9 of water. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away and you have a love of life. So you're going to make it through all this. Also, the 2 of water. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Maybe that was what your wish was. Right? Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations, bringing your relationship with your soulmate together, your divine partner. Some patience may still be required because remember, we're waiting on the Knight of Earth and he is slow yet steady and always wins the race. The planning, resources, and efforts you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. Ah, another 9 of water. Can you beat that? Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude for God for all that you have and all that's still to come. And from the romance angels, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other, whether that is with the person that you're letting go or changing the dynamic of your relationship with, or the person you're calling in and trying to heal a relationship or begin a relationship with the Ace of Wands. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And lastly, masculine, separation. Okay? time apart from your partner, not necessarily a partner, whomever this represents or whatever this represents, is on the horizon. I think you got the same card in the weekly reading too. I hope that you guys enjoy this, that you find it helpful in taking you throughout the rest of the month and into the new year. I will, or this reading will or is also trademarked, not just the spread, the style of reading. So if you see it out there, just say, you know, hey, that's a Queen of Swords style reading. Not that that's a negative thing. It just needs to be acknowledged. You know, I have people tend to have a habit of copying me without crediting me. And I would never do that to anybody else. Plus, it's illegal. All right. All of that said, again, I hope that you guys find this helpful. And I'll talk to you again soon. Namaste, angels.